What's up, guys? Barry with Trash Trackers here. Today we're going to be on a job with Jason from Finally Free Junk Removal. Luckily, a lot of this stuff's going to get donated, so let's get to work. Woohoo! We did a job a couple weeks ago. Is that your normal junk removal job? Like what?
Yeah, so
what sort of things
the job that we did was well, I guess what I would call a whole home clean out. So we had a couple that hired us to go up to Cottonwood, Arizona, and remove several. A whole. We on that job we used a U-Haul because it was far enough and there was enough stuff. It was worth it to do. But we filled a 26-foot truck, U-Haul truck up with all of these furniture items. And then we took 90% of it to donation, and then whatever donation wouldn't take at Habitat for Humanity up there in Cottonwood, we brought that to the landfill. And I would say that's a pretty typical, it's a bigger job, and not every job that we do is that big, but it's definitely a very typical job for us. Nothing that's, outside of the ordinary.
I was with you on the job a couple weeks ago. I noticed you were kind of going slow.
Yeah.
Is that like any reason why?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a huge reason why. So, one of our biggest priorities as a junk removal company is that we take our time. And the reason behind that is when you pump the tempo up, mistakes happen, damage to property, and that can be, anything. It might not be major damage. It might just be a scuff on somebody's wall. But when a junk removal company comes in and they leave, traces of their being there behind, that's something the homeowner or the property owner then has to go back and figure out before they're able to move on to the next step. And we've found that by taking our time and doing things carefully, we reduce the amount of damage. So far, we've not had any damage in the 5 months that we've been up and running, and we want to keep it that way.
And you're insured, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So as if anything were to happen, we are covered. We have a large general liability policy. We have commercial automotive on the trucks and trailer. We're actually getting an umbrella policy here starting in 2025, and that's more for so we can bid larger commercial jobs that might require.
This vacuum cleaner works. Floor mop works.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff got donated. Is that your goal?
Yes. So one of our biggest goals is that we are good stewards of God's creation. We do everything that we can to reduce the landfill impact of our day-to-day business operations. And a big part of that is being willing to take the time and the energy to go through and sort things. When we have a full load that's ready for donation, we take it to either Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, one of those types of donation centers. But actually, Barry, one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is, donation centers are great, but how can we have an even greater impact on our local community? And we have found opportunity to do that through our church. We have been put into contact with several families or individuals that have wish lists of items, furniture that they can't afford, things like that. And so far, just in the last 2 months, we have fully furnished an entire apartment for one woman and her daughter. And then we also had a pretty cool job where we were able to donate 2 twin beds to a mother that had children that were sleeping on the floor in their apartment. So whenever possible, we like to make sure that an end user of our items is actually going to be the one receiving them. And we will go through the extra time and energy required to make sure that happens.
Yeah, I noticed you saving a terrarium tank from going straight to the dump.
Yeah, so that's another area that is really important to us. Both my wife and I absolutely love animals, and so the terrarium is going to find a good home at an animal rescue. And we actually had a bird cage last month that we brought down to a parrot rescue here off Camelback in Phoenix, and donated to a gentleman who cares for birds and has a big bird rescue. So that's again that end user. When whenever possible, we like to make sure that it's not just going to an organization that then might take it and sell it and use the proceeds for their organization. Rather, we like to make sure it gets to that end user, and the person that is receiving that blessing is truly somebody that's going to benefit from getting it.
Javelin. What other services do you offer?
So we offer a lot of different services. A lot of what we do is junk removal, but we also do light demolition. So a lot of people wonder about that light part. That's basically anything non-structural. So as long as there's no structural integrity involved in what we're demolishing or taking out, we can do it. And then we also offer landscaping services as well. A lot of people, they see Finally Free and they think, finally, this guy's going to do this work for free. And while I would love to somehow figure out a way where I could do that and also be able to provide for my family, running a business is expensive, and we can't do what we do for free. But we do everything we can to make sure that we're working within people's budgets. This is a service that almost everybody's got items that they don't want at their house anymore. And when we're able to work with people's budgets and make things affordable for them, it's definitely worth them hiring us for the experience that we have removing things, making sure that there's not going to be any damage or any unforeseen problems that are the result of bringing a crew into their house to do something for them.
So where do you advertise? Where can I find you?
So we're on social media. We've got Facebook and Instagram pages, and we also have a website. Our website's finallyfreejunkremoval.com. And the getting a quote process is super easy. There's an info sheet directly on our homepage where you can fill out your information and submit it, and we'll give you a call and reach out about your needs. You can also just text your information, so your name, your address, a good email that we can use to get in touch with you, and then a few photos of the items that you need removed. You can just text those over to our number that's on our website. It's 602-935-4595.
And that'll be linked down in the description. Jason, thanks for coming out, having me on the job. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to make it,
Yeah.
man. We did have a good time, and you're welcome anytime.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me.
Yeah.